Alright, what's next? Mr. Trump. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as always, thank you for tuning in to the Ogarstyle channel. I am your gracious party host and savior. Alright, I'm not your fucking savior, but I'll be your party host today. With that being said, we're going to jump right into my opinions and thoughts on Donald Trump. The guy's done several questionable acts that I am really just, not entirely sure about. I feel like, remember what George Bush, Jr., you remember how it got harder and harder to defend him? I had that problem, so that's why I figured maybe you guys had the same problem. Maybe some of my Republican and conservative friends. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the media bias. We're going to talk about speeding justice, the enemy combatant thing, and a little piece on Gitmo. And then we're also going to talk about Junior. Donald Trump Jr., just this recent Halloween, had a very, very interesting tweet that he sent out. And it was a picture of his child, beautiful daughter, holding up her bucket of candy. And it really didn't have much in it, which is kind of odd. You figured she'd be trick-or-treating in some rich neighborhoods. But with that being said, Donald Trump Jr. Says he's going to take some of her candy and give it away, distribute it to some folks to teach her about socialism. Let me see if I teach her about, socialism. So, boom, red flag. Anybody in the fucking family that wants to fucking push socialism down my throat can suck my dick. So, to Donald Trump Jr., fuck you, and fuck the horse you rode in on, buddy. That being said, we've got a couple things to talk about here. So, I'm not going to sit here and say I feel bad for Trump. He's a big boy. He seems to handle himself pretty fucking decent when people talk shit to him. So, here's the thing. As far as the media bias goes with this guy, I have never, in my life, never, ever. I mean, let's see. I was born during the Carter administration, but don't remember that. I do, however, remember the Reagan administration, the Bush administration, the Clinton administration, the Bush administration. Wait, that's kind of... Bush, Clinton, Bush. Boy, just imagine if Hillary had beaten Obama, it would have been Bush, Clinton, Bush, Clinton. Fucked up. But anyways, I remember the Obama administration as well. And none of those presidents, I mean, you can call them all fucking assholes, and they pretty much are all assholes. But, they were not treated with the type of disrespect, the bias that I see Donald Trump going through. So, boom, another red flag. So, is he a good guy? Man, who fucking knows? I mean, it's hard to tell these days. And, the thing is this, man. That should be a sign. That should be a sign. I mean, either the media is working with him and letting him do things behind the scenes that are bad for us and using the media bias as a distraction, or the media bias is pretty much 100% real and there's something going on behind the scenes on the media side that we need to know about. So just recognize that we really need some muckrakers in this country today. And that's what I'm trying to talk to you and trying to do here and trying to be here as a muckraker. Get the people thinking. If you're not familiar with what a muckraker is, it's an important piece of history, and I definitely think that you should take a look at it. So if you don't, that's fine. But like I said, research muckrakers. Go to your national security agency internet search engine. You probably know it better as Google. And take a look at the muckrakers and find out what an important role they played in our society. So, that being said, here's some of my thoughts. Like I said, I like Trump-ish, but I don't hate Trump. You know what I mean? Although I am starting to wonder where he's headed, because when we had this New York truck attack, terrorist or not, you have to understand that when he's talking about speeding justice along and trying to try this guy in a much quicker fashion so he's not in our prisons and he's not, eating our meals in a prison and being supported by our tax dollars in a prison so that he can, basically it sounds like he's insinuating that he wants to kill him and get him out of the public eye. And so then within so then they federally charge him within 16 hours. Then on top of that, they want to consider this guy from New York, this truck guy, enemy combatant. And that means that he can be tried in a military court behind the eyes of the public, away from the eyes of the public, I should say. And then Trump was already talking about, like we don't even know, you're guilty until, innocent until proven guilty, right? Freudian slip there, especially in today's world. But they're already talking about putting him in Gitmo. And if you think about that, that's for the terrorists, that were, caught actively fighting us in the Middle East. So that's kind of scary to think about those kind of things. And if he is coming up with these ideas, that may not be a good idea. And if somebody is in Trump's ear giving him these ideas, and then that's another thing. So, like, speaking of the people that are in Trump's ear, what the fuck? This guy's been through like half a cabinet already. He's like fired half the guys that have worked for him, and they're always constantly in scandal and things of that nature. So that could get really fucking interesting real fucking quick. But that's kind of my thoughts on Trump. I was like, I want to trust him, but I don't know if I can. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same, and probably I'm going to get some hate mail or comments down there in the comment section like, you're not a patriot anymore, are you? Say, no, I just fucking look at things objectively and outside the box. And I think that fucking Trump leaves us wanting more. So, that being said, that's kind of my thoughts on Trump. I don't think he's going to be a savior any more than I'm going to be a savior. But I don't think he deserves the media bias that he gets either. And, so that's basically what it comes down to. As always, I thank you for tuning in to the Ogarstyle channel. Be safe. That was a perfectly timed alarm clock right there. Can you hear Homer?